And like they're his like workforce. He's kind of like a good. He's literally Satan though. So yeah, he's a midget. He wears a business suit. He's got his horn. He can do wizardry stuff, but he never does for some reason, except revival. And he shoots Balker with lightning sometimes. But that's mainly God's thing, because as we all know, God is literally Satan. In quote-unquote personality. The thing is, no one ever sees him except Rick. But Rick is, in the sense that Balker is the protagonist, Rick is the antagonist. But Rick isn't always the antagonist. Most of the time, he ends up teaming up with Balker and Hitler and the rest of them, albeit unwillingly, to save the city, because the city either gets destroyed by Balker and Rick, because all they do is fight and yell and hide in trees, or by some sort of other thing. And there's always a main bad guy that just shows up, because nobody likes Balker. Like there's always going to be somebody trying to kill him. And the city is just called the City.
The City of City.
I couldn't come up with a witty name for it, so it's just always the City. It has like a population of 10,000. It's in Wyoming.
Wyoming, California?
No, Wyoming, China.
Ah.
It's actually Wyoming, wherever Wyoming is. Somewhere in America. Anyway, Balker was on the FBI's Most Wanted for a while.
Did he rape someone in the FBI?
No, but after he nuked hell, he accidentally nuked Russia. But that's another story.
Turns out he's the cause of Chernobyl.
No, but Zangief, his ancestors were there in Chernobyl. See, because of the way it works, I like to call it the Psychorpeeding. Basically, many generations back, Balker's great whatever, he was a cowboy.
Okay.
Now, him and his male stripper friend, Hitler, the Soviet who came there for some reason, Zangief, and a bunch of other people, the main other characters basically, including Rick, he basically signed a deal with the devil that ensured he and all his future family would work for him for infinite life. Except he died. Because infinite life is a fickle thing. Anyway, the contract, it's your whole family's descendants. And Balker back then, his whatever, he's pretty much Balker with a cowboy hat and clothes. Still the angry man. He basically wasn't gonna have any descendants. He was like, whatever, I don't care, make me invincible. And, to keep it going, God basically, he was like, this is really boring around here. Or something like that. So basically, every time a Balker dies, and the rest of them pretty much die because of it, God just creates new ones. Bam. Storyline. He's actually I wouldn't say he's the bad guy, but he genetically created Balker's first Balker son, named Balker. He also made the first Hitler son, etc., etc., etc. And he basically, you know, as times change, they change. Except, when it gets to the current Balker, so many variables come into play. Balker finds what the Balker family name has been trying to find for so many times, but he doesn't know he's Balker.
And what is the thing they've been trying to find?
Mega Thrust. I'll tell you on that in a second. Man, this download is taking forever.
What are you downloading?
Goldfish Gaming.
Wait, oh, you actually joining me?
Yeah!
You didn't tell me.
Oh my god, I thought I did before.
Okay, continue.
Hmm?
Continue.
Alright, so, you see, Bakker's dad, basically, who was actually Bakker, he was Asian Bakker. He didn't want this crap to go on. Like, he managed to get the Asian Rick to stop fighting with Asian Bakker. Like, they stopped doing what they did, and that pretty much changed everything. So, like, Asian Bakker raised Bakker, baby Bakker. We'll call him Bakker Prime.
Okay.
Now, Bakker Prime grew up, and, like, Asian Bakker trained him not to be so angry, like every other Bakker. But God killed Asian Bakker. Like Bakker, he went to check the mail, right?
Yes.
He walked outside, and then God, like Satan, he realized what was happening. Okay, I'm in the game. He realized what was happening a little too late, right?
Yeah.
Basically, God blew up Bakker's house while he was outside.
Uh-huh.
There's a moderator on duty staring at me.
Oh my gosh,
gonna-
what you gonna do to me?
I'm gonna run away while I talk. And, he basically kills Asian Bakker because Asian Bakker is doing stuff that ruins it. And he puts him in political prison in heaven. Which is a thing that'll get touched on later, but it happens. You see, it's kind of hard to explain because you haven't seen the... I don't want to ruin the last thing in Bakker and Hitler ever for you.
Uh-huh.
Let me s- you see, what he does is Satan pops out the second the house blows up. And God knew this would happen because, you know, he knows everything. So, Satan gets blamed for blowing up Asian Bakker, right?
Yeah.
Hitler just walks on by because he's Bakker's neighbor. Because they went to high school together. Which is also ironically how this started. Because of a demon named Mr. They call him Coach John. They didn't know he was a demon, but he's a demon. And that's where Hitler starts to hate the Jews. Because of sex ed. They had this war going on, all because, and like, it was really something. You had to be there for that flashback thing. And like, after like, because of that, Hitler and Bakker got sent down to the basement of the school, which is shaped like a pentagram, because that architect was amazing. That's actually a story element later, anyways. You see, there's like a bunch of priests in the basement, right? They like tie you up and beat you while they read scripture.
Do they rape you?
I haven't elaborated on that. It's semi-implied. Only semi. Anyway, Zangief's, one of the Zangiefs from earlier, they were at Chernobyl, and Zangief was strong before, but after the explosion, everyone thought he died, right? But he walks out with the everlasting smile through his beard, and muscles on his muscles, and that's what Zangief has been ever since. All his descendants. And, let's see. What next would be good to talk about? Oh yeah, the Bakker story. Basically, Bakker, instead of like him knowing he was Bakker, Asian Bakker called in the Asian persuasion to try to get rid of the Bakker thing, because he didn't want this crap to go on, because he was like, this is retarded, look at this. Now, the Dewitt family, they have been looking for the fabled Mega Thrust for like, since the second Bakker. Because it wasn't actually Mega Thrust, it was just the legendary drill that would lead to, like, millions of gold.
Uh-huh.
Which would equal billions of dollars. So, they were looking for it, because it was supposed to drill the way instantly. And they'd all fail and usually die in the process, or die to something else. And we get the current Bakker, because Asian Bakker did what he did, the new Bakker cycle has been going on. And you got crap like the Slammers, like Slamker and Slamler. They're basketball heads from planet, Slam. They went to stuff. It's a long story. What isn't Bakker? You know, and, basically Bakker found it by pure accident.
Yep.
He just said, yeah, and I wish I would make it rain. And then suddenly it's raining money. And boom, he has Mega Thrust. And he's like, what? You know. Except it's powered by erections. And it changes based on his mood. And he measures his bonus on the Richter scale. And, normally it just takes on the form of a drill. Like a drill. You know, so he thrusts people to death.
Yeah.
It's kind of his thing. And, Rick, he basically didn't even know who Balker was, because, like, the cycle was all screwed up. So eventually he found him looking through a water fountain in his house, because that's how water fountains in heaven work. They let you see people. And, he's like, whoa, that guy, that's freaking cool. I want that. And, the story God told him was that he was made to, you know, counter Balker. And he's like, oh, well, can I have what he has? And God's like, I can't make that. No one knows what made Mega Thrust. Not even Satan or God, by the way. Just, Rick's like, oh, man, that's not fair. And he's like, that's actually not really fair at all. So, he, makes Ultra Twirl. You know how Mega Thrust is Ultra Twirl, it's a cape. You see, he tried to make a Mega Thrust, but it was a cape, and it doesn't quite work like Mega Thrust, but it's still deadly. Its powers are not as defined as Mega Thrust, and it really just works whenever it wants. It can create, like, what was it? I forgot the hurricane scale. Like, level 5 hurricane winds. It can, like, produce a bunch of weapons, which are also glowy.
Okay.
And they're unbreakable, and they wreck people. See, this is where the conventional weapons. Not a lot of people in this have the brains to use some sort of conventional weaponry besides Rick, and he only does it because it's standard issue to angels. Except, he can, like, he has upgraded stuff because, like, he's... Oh, wow. Someone just killed somebody, Orion. King Kit in Canada. Are you in the game?
No, it's at 55.
Oh, my lord. Figures. But, where was I? Oh yeah, weapons. You see, there's, like, 2 leading weapon ore types.
Yeah.
There's like minerals, there's like... Actually... Oh, someone wants to be a terrorist? Yes. The angel weapons, no one knows what they're made of except God.
Are they made of angel sperm?
No, but that'd be a cool plot point. Anyway, the demons, they don't really have weapons like guns, or swords, or knives. Or guns, because, they all suck. And that's why, that's actually pretty much why Satan hasn't done anything to get himself back in heaven yet, because all his demons blow so bad, he can't revolt. So, he donned his business suit and went to the world of economic entrepreneurship.
Does he sell condoms?
No. He actually has a brand of that, though, at one point. You see, Satan got kicked out for gambling and losing way too much. But he was a close friend, so he's like, oh yeah, well, I'll give you a second chance down here. If you can get, like, enough money to pay back your debt, well, you can come back and, like, be my second-hand man. And Satan's like, alright, cool. And he tried to revolt, you know, like, at first. Well, demons, but, like, they suck so bad, man. So bad, you don't even know!